Ask and you shall receive. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the Ravens flock and NFL Nation alike. My name is Christopher Linfont, coming back to you with another prospect review. Today we've got A.J. Brown, the wide receiver from Ole Miss. Going to break down his stats, his tape, and see whether or not the Ravens should draft him. Now, A.J. Brown, I was thinking about doing him, but I didn't know if I was going to. And then a viewer by the name of CDub98 requested that I do it. So, CDub, here is your prospect review. I hope you enjoy, and of course all the viewers enjoy me breaking down A.J. Brown's tape and whether or not he'll be with the Ravens. But of course, if you're not a Ravens fan, you can stay anyway and find out whether your team should draft A.J. Brown and what skills he possesses to help your team at the next level. Again, my name is Christopher Linfont. Make sure to subscribe to Baltimore Feather, the YouTube channel. Of course, you can hit me up on Twitter at Chris Linfont or at BeMoreFeather for the blog's Twitter page. Or you can check out BaltimoreFeather.com for all the latest engraved Ravens news and opinions. Okay, heading right into our analysis of A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, the wide receiver out of Ole Miss. He is, I believe, a junior coming out of college. He was actually drafted in the 19th round of the MLB draft. When he came out of high school. So he could potentially be a dual sport athlete if he really wanted to, but I think he's going to stick to football, probably. I can't confirm that, but, he's not like he was drafted in the first round of the MLB draft like Kyler Murray, but he's an all-around good athlete, and that tells you right away the kind of skills he possesses, the hand-eye coordination. It's crucial for baseball, and it's crucial to be a wide receiver if he's drafted at the MLB level. You've got to assume that his hand-eye coordination and his catching ability should be good in the NFL, and indeed they are, and we'll get into that in a second here. But first, we're going to talk about his measurables. As you see on your screen right now, his measurables. He is 6 foot, 226 pounds. His arm length, 32 and 7/8 inches. His hand length, 3/4 inches. 40-yard dash, 4.49, not too bad there. Bench press reps, 19 reps of 225 pounds. Vertical jump, he can jump 36.5 inches in the air, and broad jump 120. 120 inches over that long distance there. So what do we get out of this information? Well, we get that he's a nice athlete. Now, he's not the DK Metcalf type athlete, right? He's not a complete freak, but he's very athletic. 6 foot, pretty good size. It's not like he's oversized or undersized. He's just right around where you want him to be for a wide receiver of his caliber. Obviously, he had a good career at Ole Miss, and I think all of these measurables, you can kind of see why. His athleticism is fantastic. The 40-yard dash, 4.49 seconds, not the fastest, but not the slowest. Overall, he's a good athlete in all these dimensions. So here are A.J. Brown's stats in his 3 years at Ole Miss. Now, I always use College Football Reference for these stats, but today we have to use ESPN. For some reason, College Football Reference didn't have his 2016 or 2017 season on that list, so I don't want to give the impression he was a one-year wonder. He did very well in those 3 years with Ole Miss. Now, in his freshman year, 2016, he caught 29 balls, 412 yards for a 14.2 average and 2 touchdowns. Longest was 37. Not too shabby for a freshman receiver, if I do say so myself. Had a nice impact on that team, of course, only being a freshman. But in the sophomore season, he took a huge step. He jumped up to have 75 catches for 1,252 yards, 16.7 average, and 11 touchdowns in that year. I don't know if they went to a bowl game or not, but a very good season, almost a touchdown a game. And then you get 2018, he has even more catches, 85 catches for 1,320 yards, 15.5 average, and 6-yard touchdown. I'm sorry, 6 touchdowns, not 6-yard touchdown. His longest in that season was 84 yards. When you look at these statistics here, what stands out to me the most is the average is almost always the same, right? Give or take a few yards here and there. You've got a 14.2, goes up to a 16.7, goes down to a 15.5. He's going to be catching some nice passes. And taking them for the extra yards, right away you can tell that he's a productive wide receiver whenever he gets the ball. It doesn't matter if he's getting the ball 29 times like his freshman year. He's going to get yards for you. He's going to, on average, pick up a first down every time he catches it. If you're not, driven back, on average, he'd pick up a first down every time he catches. So that's a fantastic way to go. He also has some returning statistics here as a punt returner, 8 attempts, 2017, 47 yards, and a kickoff returner once for 3 yards in 2017. That's about it for his stats here. And, of course, those touchdowns. He scored 2 in his freshman year, 11 touchdowns in his sophomore year, and 8 in his senior year. So fantastic way to start his professional career, coming in here with this experience in college where he did very well at a high level. He was tied, I think, I'm not tied. If we look at his statistics up here in the right corner, we can see where he places on the overall charts for the college football season 2018. He was 11th in receptions, 6th in total yards with 1320. Tied for 88th in touchdowns, but that's, of course, because they have other weapons like DK Metcalf and other weapons. I forget his name, but I saw him earlier. He's also in this draft, a Ole Miss wide receiver. We'll let it slide for now. But, very productive wide receiver, A.J. Brown in college. The moment you've all been waiting for. Here we go. A.J. Brown game film. We've got 3 game films to look over today. We've got Alabama, we've got Auburn, and we've got Texas A&M. Each showing some very good and some not so good things about A.J. Brown. But we're going to take a look at A.J. Brown and discern again what are his qualities that are going to make him good on an NFL team, and will he fit the Baltimore Ravens? And of course, what are his qualities that would make him maybe not so good on an NFL team, and would those be a problem for the Baltimore Ravens? So obviously, the first thing we have to know about A.J. Brown as a wide receiver, how fast can he play? Bear in mind, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's pretty fast, I think. He ran a 4.49 as we discussed, but he has a extremely quick get off the line. You can see him here. He's in the slot on the top of your screen, and watch how fast he gets off this line at the snap. Very quickly. Very quickly. Now, this isn't targeted to him, but he just hits his full speed almost immediately. Maybe even immediately. I mean, he just goes, right? So, I mean, he has a very quick get off the line. And keeping with this Alabama game, we can see the same thing happen down the line here at the 3:52 mark in this video. You've got it at it's 7:18 left in the second quarter, and you see him. I think he's in the slot there, and there he goes. Right, quick burst. Even though he stopped short on this route because that's his route, but it's quick. It's super quick. With the guys, he is a little smaller than some of the bigger receivers in this draft class, so he's got a very quick get off the line. Maybe because of his size isn't massive. He has a nice build overall that kind of matches him with some good abilities everywhere to go around. Now, what else do we have to know? Number 1 is his speed. Number 2, what's his catching skills? Most people probably put number 2 first. But if you're a wide receiver, you should be able to catch regardless. Now, we found out yesterday that Hakeem Butler, not the best catcher in the world. Let's see what A.J. Brown can do. You can see him right there in the slot on the bottom of your screen. Takes it. Okay. And he tries to fight through the contact, but he doesn't get far. So, that's not a glorious play, but what does it tell us about A.J. Brown? Well, the first thing it tells us is, let's take a look at this again. He is able to catch this ball. And this isn't really crazy. This isn't an insignificant feat. It might look insignificant because he's wide open, he's running an out route, but this is the same route that Hakeem Butler drops in the review I did yesterday of him. Okay? Same exact route. Hakeem Butler drops his pass. A.J. Brown catches his pass. A.J. Brown gets hit almost right where the ball is, it looked like. Let me see this again. Yeah. And he holds on to the ball. He can't really get through and then this is what we're going to see a lot with him. He doesn't really get through a second effort very often, but what we know with A.J. Brown is he's going to catch the ball pretty much every time, and he's not going to lose the ball, but he's not going to be the guy who's going to fight for extra yards. I see him as a finesse wide receiver, and we're going to see that throughout the tape. The very next play, we're going to see something similar here. We can see him hold on during a lot of contact. There he is at the top of your screen again in the slot. Nice get off the line. Runs a nice route. That's what we're going to see a lot of too. And look at that. I mean, he's just wrapped up, and it looks like that guy may be trying to go for that ball with his left hand there, or right hand, I'm sorry. A little difficult to see, but it looks like it's possible he is, and he holds on to it. again, Hakeem Butler yesterday had problems with this, but look at how crisp the route is. Right turns in, and he's ready to go. Very nice route by A.J. Brown. Very good receiver to start off with this game tape here. And then we're going to skip into the future here, up to the 3 mark, and look at his play here. Now, this play, you're going to see him. I believe he's that in the slot again. He always plays in the slot. This is a solid catch. And then he fights. Again, doesn't get very far, but he's not losing that ball either. And look how many, we haven't seen a drop yet. No drop yet. That's good. Now, obviously, Ole Miss isn't doing super well in this game, and he's not getting a whole lot of action. But, this is a solid catch, and you can't deny that, this guy right here, what was that, 27? This guy right here, something 7. Looks like he's trying to rip the ball out. That may have been the same guy from last play, so don't really know if he was trying to rip the ball out. But, again, A.J. Brown can catch it, can sustain it. He's not going to fight for extra yards, or maybe he is trying to fight, but maybe he's not strong enough. But he has the fundamentals down. He's got the get off the line, the awareness, the route running, the catching. Let's take a look at another play here. We go even further into the future. Basically right at the end here. I think this is actually the last play. Yeah, this is a solid. You're going to see another out route, right? And I think he's in the slot. Yep, out route. Solid out route. Nice catch. Gets hit. That guy looks like he's trying to strip the ball again. But no siree. No. Not a lot of wide receivers are going to hold on like that. And we saw again with Hakeem Butler yesterday, lots of drops. DK Metcalf even has a lot of drops, and he's actually in this game. Let's see if this is the play. This is the DK Metcalf play I showed at the beginning. Remember, this is not A.J. Brown here. A.J. Brown runs that comeback route or curl route, and that's DK Metcalf. But DK Metcalf might be a little bit more sensational of a prospect just because of his size and his athletic ability. But A.J. Brown's a bit quieter, and he is really efficient at what he does. Now, if we take a look at the Auburn tape here, again, we're going to start off with his get off the line of scrimmage. He's pretty quick at it. He hits his top speed almost immediately. He doesn't have the biggest speed or the largest speed or the highest speed, I should say, of any wide receiver or anything, but he gets to his high speed quickly, which is good, which is really good. I'd like to see that in a wide out. Now, this is just the end of this play here. Not important because that's not who we're looking at. But number 5, I'm blanking on his name. I think I mentioned it earlier. But he did some very nice things in this tape. Maybe I'll do something on him in the near future. But we're going to take a look at this play right here. Look at A.J. Brown here, catch the screen, and look what he does after. He goes, nope. Doesn't get it completely away, but he gets those extra yards. He's shifty. And, again, he's a finesse receiver. He reminds me kind of a ceiling Julio Jones has. This is ceiling, right? And he can do some of the things that maybe remind you, too, of Julio Jones. And the finesse is definitely something that reminds me of some of these good receivers in the NFL. Now, when we look at we're going to take another look before we go on to his catches here. Another solid out route here. Again, this is a catch, actually. I'm sorry. I'm doing some blanking here, but we're going to take a look at this play right here. There he is. You can see the arrow pointing at him. It's an out route. It's a similar thing that we saw last game, right? He just catches it, and he goes right out of bounds. It's the little things that make A.J. Brown pretty good, right? It's basically everything, all molded together. It's the little things that build him up. It's not like he's super, super, super spectacular. It's not like he's flashy, but he gets all the little things done. He checks all the boxes, and he's going to get the dirty work done for you. But what we haven't seen so far is the blocking, and I will admit, A.J. Brown, not the biggest blocker in the world. I think I saw him block once or twice. I don't even know if it's in this tape. I think it's probably the next tape, the A&M tape. He's not a super physical wide receiver, but he does make good catches, and he's able to hold on to the ball. And that's, that is the most important thing, but it should be a given when you're looking for a wide receiver in the first round. But all these wide receivers, not all of them have it. Nice catch, sustains it. A nice route, too. Nice post route into the middle. He's got that guy draped on him, doesn't drop it. Let's take a look at the next play. And none of these so far have been super flashy passes. But again, it just demonstrates to you that he can do all these things over and over again. And he's got a good catch radius. Ta'amu, not the greatest quarterback in the world. Now, this is a catch. This also demonstrates, doesn't have a whole lot of speed to push through, on the swing route. Again, he's not going to charge through guys. He's not going to N'Keal Harry people, not going to body people. But, he's going to get the job done for the most part. Now, let's take a look over at 444 on this tape. I like this play. There he is on this kind of zig route. And this is one he kind of fights more than usual for. See how he's smart. He's a smart receiver. He's a guy that plays, multiple sports. He does very well. First love, baseball, right? He understands, I think, sliding mechanics, right? You're not going to want to, if you're trying to avoid the hit, right? You're going to slide down. But when you're trying to take on the hit and push through it, what are you going to do? Push up. And that's what he does. And he gets a few extra yards. He's got the little moves that make him very good. Moving on. Let's take a look at a much bigger catch, a much maybe more important catch if you want to call it that. 554 is where we're heading to. Right. I don't think this is it right here. No. It's right after this play. Right here. Okay, they're going to set up. Yeah, this is it. I don't know why I had it at the wrong time. Hopefully this is the right play. If not, I'll fix it. But we've got a huge catch here. I mean, this is a huge catch. Ta'amu sits in the... Yeah, this isn't him. I don't know what happened here. Maybe this is it. Yeah, this is the huge catch I'm talking about. Look at the solid... I mean, the speed he's got. He avoids the guys, and he keeps going. Let's take a look. Look at him go. He knows where to find his guy, and then he has the angle. A very, very good reception. That's a big catch and big run by A.J. Brown right there. Let's take another look. 652. Sorry, the notes I have here got a little confusing. I don't know what happened. But this play right here, we've got a great demonstration of his hands. One of the better hands in this draft class. I think maybe N'Keal Harry has a little bit better. He has a slide to get this. His ball's a little low, but he holds on to it. No problem there. Let's take a look. Let's fast forward kind of far up into the game here at the 10:52 mark. What do we see here? Another demonstration of, 10:58 I'm supposed to be at, not 52. This is a good demonstration of a good catch, a run that's fast, but again, can't break the tackle. So what we're showing you over and over again is that none of these plays I'm talking about are anomalies, right? They all are plays that over and over again, he's going to basically do the same thing for you, but he does, again, the little things well. Let's take a look at 11:25 here. Here we go. What do we see here? We see A.J. Brown in the slot, as usual. He only ever plays in the slot in this tape. Maybe a couple plays outside. Grabs the ball. Look at the shift. Look at the shifty move. Look at that. Bam, touchdown. A little bit backwards of a pass there. Maybe that was the intention. I don't know. But you could just think, what if this guy right here is Lamar Jackson? And he throws this out route to A.J. Brown, or zig route, who, throws... I don't know. Is he still there, Drake Kirkpatrick, with the Bengals? Throws Drake Kirkpatrick, let's say, into the ground. Makes a touchdown. I mean, look at this little shift he makes. If he doesn't make that shift, that corner is coming right at him and he's getting him down. But it's the awareness. He turns. He's got the ball. He's not a receiver that's going to touch the ball and try to run without catching it. No. What he does is he first catches the ball, as you can see completely clearly right here. Right? Catches it, tucks it in, and then goes. He does it every single time. That's something at the NFL level a lot of guys come into, they don't know how to do, is properly catch the ball. And A.J. Brown does it so well, very well. And, if he can continue this trend in the NFL, he should be very, very good as a receiver. But I do want to show a couple drops that we did find in this tape. Nothing serious. But, I have to show the drops. I can't be completely biased because, I do like A.J. Brown a lot after watching this. You judge for yourself. Is this his fault? Is this A.J. Brown's fault? I'm not really sure it is. I mean, it's definitely a low pass. And or later in the game he catches kind of a low pass like this, and this corner is just wrapped behind him. But it's a drop nonetheless. It'll count as a drop. And the second drop I found, I mean, he gets hit hard though on this play. I mean, I couldn't catch this ball that I'm about to show you. Let's take a look at this drop right here. A.J. Brown, he runs into the middle of the field. Ta'amu scrambles, throws it. A.J. Brown, boom, popped. You can see he's like, what just hit me? Right? He puts his face in the dirt after that. That guy's all happy, number 4. I don't really fault him on any of these plays. I mean, his catch rate is already really good, and then these are kind of flukes. I mean, that hit, ouch, that's got to hurt. I definitely could not catch that ball, and a lot of guys would probably drop that as well. So not too bad with A.J. Brown there. Overall, that game is pretty good, but the Texas A&M tape that I saw is definitely the best of the entire tapes that I've watched. Now, Texas A&M, both these teams fighting for this is a very important game. If you know anything about college football, when you're 5-4 and 5-4, you're one game away. You got to get the 6 games to be eligible for a bowl, unless something wacky happens that year where they need another team that maybe is not a winning team. So to get to 6-4, to get to 6 wins is the goal. And both these teams, with 2 games left at most, gotta get a win here to go to a bowl, or else they'll end up at 5-5 and have 2 games after that. So a very crucial game here. First play. Watch this. This is a very strong start. Shifts one guy, shifts another guy, and look at that, a shifty finesse receiver. Maybe that's what Baltimore needs. But again, he's not a physical receiver that maybe you want more for the Lamar Jackson offense, where he's going to have to be called on to block more. If you need a guy who's going to block a lot, maybe A.J. Brown isn't your guy, right? And that's maybe why I would think that Baltimore might not want to take him. Because, look, he can totally do this. Maybe N'Keal Harry can't do something like this where he just dodges guys, right? But N'Keal Harry's a blocker, too. And A.J. Brown isn't. They're 2 very different receivers. I mean, I'm comparing them here. I'm not really comparing him a whole lot with Hakeem Butler. I think A.J. Brown's just a better Hakeem Butler, basically. A stable Hakeem Butler. If you watched my tape yesterday, I wasn't a super big fan of Hakeem Butler. But looking at A.J. Brown, again, he's basically Hakeem Butler better, and different skill set than N'Keal Harry, who, my draft crush so far. But I do really love what I see out of A.J. Brown so far. And let's take a look at some of these other plays here. So we're going to speed up a little bit into this game. Take a look at what happens on this play right here. You see him at the bottom of your screen. He's lined up wide here. There's a block, right? I think that's the only time I've seen him block. I think I may have seen him once more. I don't know if I put it on the review. But, he did it. He physically blocked. It wasn't a great block, but it was a good one nonetheless. I mean, he stops this corner from getting past him for when it counts, but he's not holding him down, right? N'Keal Harry does it better. But that's okay, because he's not N'Keal Harry. N'Keal Harry isn't A.J. Brown. We're not looking to try to compare them apples to apples here. Let's take a look at this play. Excuse this play. This isn't it. This is the end of another play. But right here, coming up on 2:06, 2nd and 5, 11:30 left in the second quarter. Watch what we have here. Post route, bam, catch. Look at him go. Look at passes that guy 11. He's only got this guy to beat and can't beat him. But what a fantastic play by A.J. Brown. He catches it and just goes. And he kind of causes that collision maybe. I don't know if that was on purpose or those two just collided there. Number 4, number 6, something like that, and 11 goes down to try to grab him. It can't. But fantastic play by A.J. Brown right there. That is just amazing. The way he just loses these guys. I mean, again, his top speed isn't super fast, but he hits it quickly. And that's key, because he can outrun guys just on the virtue that he's quicker. Not faster, but quicker than them. As Mike Mack would say, he's quicker than fast, right? He's quicker than fast. Let's take a look at 4:58 is our timestamp for this play. On this play, we're going to see. So on this play here, I just wanted to include it just to see, show you what kind of effort he gives on every play. This is a terrible throw, but well, not terrible, but it's just way out of his range for Ta'amu, and basically throwing in a double coverage there. But he tries very hard to make that. I don't know if it goes to his hands or if he's just not tall enough to catch that. But a good effort by A.J. Brown. I can't really fault him on that one. But we're going to see some better plays here for him. Demonstration of his hands here at the 5:46 timestamp. Look at how he holds on to this pass right here. He gets hit not once, being spun down, but twice by that guy too. And even though he's being rotated at 360 degrees, he hauls it in. And again, it's the little things, but he does them so well that's very impressive, right? And here is just a great hands, great catch play at the 6:17 mark on this video here. I mean, look at this play. Ta'amu sits in the pocket, looks and turns, tries to scramble, and then this. I mean, what the heck? That's just unbelievable. I mean, that's as good as any catch you're going to see from wide receivers this draft class. And the consistency he catches the ball with is amazing. I mean, look at that. I mean, he reaches behind that guy to grab it. I mean, that's just fantastic. So, A.J. Brown, obviously a hands god, a machine to catch the ball is what he is. He's really he's playing like a machine. He just doesn't drop. He drops it twice in the tape we've seen. And then we look here, right, this next play. If this is a better throw, then this is a touchdown. I mean, it's so close to being a touchdown already because he does such a good job of tracking this ball. But he throws it, I think, a little too late here. Doesn't give him a whole lot of room to work with, and it's a little high. If that's just a couple inches, downwards, that's a touchdown. And the look, he really grabs it with one hand. I mean, if that's a Lamar Jackson throw, that's probably a touchdown. Lamar Jackson obviously is going to be a better throw than Jordan Ta'amu. That's probably a touchdown if you can, have an NFL quarterback throwing him that. So, I mean, he tries very hard to get this ball. I mean, look, he's trying to get the feet down too, but it's just a little too far. Just a little too far. We're going to look at the last catch on the tape. Not super crazy, just the last one. So I thought I'd include it. Let's take a look here. Right down at the bottom of your screen. I mean, they're trailing big and, just a Hail Mary throw at this point. And that's about it. But he holds on to it, which is good. So, what have we learned about A.J. Brown after all of this tape? Well, we learned that he has great hands, right? That's number one with A.J. Brown. Excellent hands. Rarely ever drops anything that comes his way. Number two is he's quick off the line. He's got that burst. Not a super high top speed, but he gets off the line very quickly and makes plays down in the secondary for his team. Quick burst off the line of scrimmage. Good routes to pair with it. The routes are crisp. They're clean. He's very aware on the field. He's shifty. Makes very good quick cut moves. Especially he got in the end zone and he made another one in that Texas A&M tape we watched. Just good plays all around. Great shiftiness, agility. He's got all these check marks. He can be explosive, not always explosive, but when he's called upon to make a big play, as we saw on that Texas A&M tape, he will definitely do it for you. And he's reliable. He's always basically going to check those little boxes off, get the little things done, be able to do the big things too. A lot of receivers, have those big flashes, but they don't get all those mundane tasks done that A.J. Brown does. Now, when we look at his weaknesses, especially with the Ravens, it's the lack of blocks, the lack of strength that he shows. Put up those 19 bench press reps, but in-game it doesn't really show that he can block, that he can push through and really get past guys. Doesn't break tackles often either. And again, he played primarily in the slot. Didn't see press often on the outside, which can be a problem if you're going to put him at that X spot, which the Ravens would almost certainly do if they were to draft him. So my grade for him, I'm going to give an 8.1 out of 10. That is slightly better than the 8.0 I gave DK Metcalf, and I think I gave N'Keal Harry an 8.6, so he's a little bit lower than N'Keal Harry. But I think right now, as of all the wide receivers I've looked at, I think A.J. Brown is going to be our second best on this list. And where should he be drafted? I would say bottom of the first round or middle of the first round, depending who's picking. Can the Ravens get him? I think that he will almost certainly be available for the Baltimore Ravens unless someone like the Colts trade up to get him or someone up there wants to add a wide receiver to their depth chart. Boom or bust. I'm going to call him a boom. He has tremendous upside as a player. He's very reliable, and he does all the little things well. So definitely a boom of a player. Should the Ravens get him? Only if they really, really want him. And N'Keal Harry's not available. I think N'Keal Harry is still my pick if he's there. But if N'Keal Harry's gone, or you want to trade down, if you don't really value N'Keal Harry at 22, and he's still there after you trade down, absolutely. I think, if you draft A.J. Brown, you can't go wrong. I think he wouldn't necessarily be as good of a fit on the specific offense that the Ravens are going to run. I think N'Keal Harry would be a better fit, but I think A.J. Brown would still make a good receiver for Baltimore or for any NFL team. Again, I gave him that 8.1 overall prospect grade. That's not relative to the team itself. Final thoughts. Look, he's a finesse receiver. Kind of reminds me of Julio Jones. I think that's his ceiling. He's not going to do all the dirty work, but the thing I should say again is he primarily plays on the inside, so he doesn't always face press coverage. Be interesting to see if that quick burst off the line would help him on the outside as an X receiver, or you're just regular number one guy, or maybe even as a Z guy. Okay, well that will wrap up today's episode of our player review for BaltimoreFeather.com on the YouTube channel. Of course, thank you for our viewer CDub98 for recommending that we do A.J. Brown. If you guys have any prospects you want me to review for the Ravens or for anybody, really, it could be any round from any school, I'll take a look and see if I want to review them. Just shoot me a comment or tweet me at ChrisLinfon or at BeMoreFeather, or leave a comment on the blog at BaltimoreFeather.com, and I'll take a look at them for you. This has been Chris Linfont for Baltimore Feather, signing out.